ATAI can be a game changer for your portfolio, making me more than 100% on my long term. You guys don't want to miss out on this one. This one is a great one. But what is good, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be diving deep into ATAI Life Sciences, a biotech company that a lot of people are sleeping on right now. But should you be? Stick around, because after ATAI, I'm going to break down 4 more stocks that could be worth watching this year. And trust me, you don't want to miss these. So let's get into it. So starting off with ATAI, it is a mental health biotech space. The mission is simple but bold. Develop innovative treatments for mental health disorders like depression and anxiety, where traditional medicine hasn't been cutting it. They've got a unique model. Instead of focusing on just one treatment, ATAI invests into multiple treatments rather than just one. That means more shots on goal and more chances for one to hit big. One of their biggest assets is Compass Pathways, working on a therapy for treatment-resistant depression. And that's already in phase 3 trials. If this gets approved, that's a massive game changer and going to be a massive game changer for the stock and your investment overall. Financially, they're sitting at over $160 million in cash, giving them enough runway to fund their pipeline for a while. And the stock recently did indeed make a breakout. I'm personally going to be waiting for that 260 level to hit once again. I personally was going to buy in once again on Thursday, but we actually made that breakout above that. If that play would have hit, we would have made over $1 in the money almost already with just one play. But in the past, we did indeed buy it, making our portfolio go up 100%. We have a video on that. I put $10,000 in ATAI. If you guys are interested, think that I'm lying or anything, that's proof. But there's a lot of opportunity in this stock. Right now, I wouldn't really buy it at highs right now. I would wait for a little bit of a pullback. But if you do see it break that 360 to that $4 level, we might have more room to move to the upside. But obviously, this is a high risk play. These aren't products you can sell tomorrow. This is a long-term heavy regulation biotech territory. So if you believe mental health is in the next frontier, ATAI might be worth considering. So overall, man, I'm personally still going to wait for ATAI to get back down to my buy zone of that 260. And I mean, before, when I was buying it at that $10,000 range, I was willing to hold this for, a couple of years before we get a bigger breakout. With that being said, it just happened faster than I wanted it to. And this current breakout, man, it might make this stock not even a penny stock no more sooner or later. You never know how it's going to move. But personally, I would have my patience with ATAI in general, but it is getting a lot of hype right now, especially with these movements upwards. And a lot of people got their eyes on it. First link in the description below, I have some cheap courses. And if you use that code, you get 50% off. One way to become profitable and to make money, become financially free, is to learn. And my courses, I make them relatively cheap so you're not spending too much money, and ease of use, and you can make that money back within the first day of using any of the things that you learned. With that being said, man, I have ways to make money off of $0. I have a lot of trading courses and a long-term portfolio that you guys can make more than the S&P 500 with. With that being said, man, I appreciate you guys' time. Another one that a bunch of people are looking at is going to be BBAI, Big Bear AI. They're an AI analyst company helping government and defense agencies make faster, smarter decisions. With that being said, if we look at Palantir, how Palantir grew, people seen Palantir at $6, $5, and they didn't want to buy it. And then sooner or later, it kept growing, and growing quicker. BBAI already has their government contracts and honestly can be the next Palantir. With that being said, man, I would have my patience with this one. I'm personally going to probably try to buy it at that 650 level if we bounce back down to that, and or have patience even more. And if we do bounce back down to that $4 level, that's going to be an easy buy zone right there. But honestly, I'm looking at that 650 level if I do want to buy in. And if you're a little bit less patient, you can look at that 750 level as well. I did indeed recently buy it at around that 720 level and then sold it recently at that $8 level, just because honestly, I seen it bounce up to that $8 level and then bounce back down. So maybe we might get another bounce back down and might have an opportunity to buy it at that 650. So that's kind of why I sold it so quickly. And this is kind of on my swing trade account, not really my long-term account. So I'm willing to, take less profits with less time. But with that being said, I am going to be looking at that 650 for my long-term portfolio and maybe my next load in for my swing trade portfolio. But with that being said, now they've recently won a couple government contracts and even announced some expansion into private sector. So if you guys know Palantir, they have a private sector and a government sector. But this could give them some long-term stability. But right now, the stock's been super volatile, up one day and up and down the next. If you're in AI plays with a defense twist, BBAI might be on your radar. With AI rising and honestly just government spending rising a little bit, you can see BBAI to the upside. Next one is a play that a lot of people probably already missed, but a lot of people have probably seen it grow and go up a decent amount, and we're still looking a little bit bullish with this one, is Rigetti Computing, RGTI. We see basically computing stocks go up a fast amount, a big amount, and then honestly just drop at the same time. So this one does have a little bit more risk. You can actually play option plays on this one. They're not really that expensive, but just understand the supply and demand like point of that. But with that all being said, man, you might have an opportunity to play to the downside as well. But this one, my buy zone will be around that 14.2 right now. And then even lower, maybe at that 12 to that $10 level if we do start edging down lower. But if we do start going up higher, you might see this stock at that $20 to $25 level. So honestly, man, this one is going to be patience and just seeing how it moves. We just need another fat move up or down to see where it's really going to go. But these guys are pushing into quantum computing. And yeah, it's still in early days. They're trying to build hardware that could one day blow traditional computing out of the water. They've made some progress with their Aspen M quantum processor, but like ATAI, this is a moonshot type of stock. The upside is crazy, but the risk is also crazy as well. It's worth watching if you believe in the future of quantum tech. And honestly, quantum computing is going to be insane, especially in like the medicine sector. If you guys don't know what quantum computing is, just a little summary is, let's just say you're trying to get out of a maze. A normal computer is going to look at all of the ways out and they're going to look at it one by one. So it might take the computer 5 minutes to determine the way out. But if you have a quantum computer, it's going to look at all of those ways out at once and get you the answer basically right away. So let's pivot over to SOFI Technologies, SOFI. Now let's pivot into something more consumer facing. SOFI, ticker SOFI, SOFI, sorry. The company has been making noise in the fintech world, offering everything from student loans to investing and even checking accounts, which is insane. A lot of people are getting into banking low key, and banks are not happy about this, but honestly, man, you might as well get in early while these stocks are still going up. And honestly, man, this one has been climbing up and climbing up pretty healthily, honestly, if you look at the chart basically. And we're continuing this bull rally. And honestly, this one's going to be a long-term play. So if you guys do get like options, get it like further out. And if you guys do buy shares, just wait a little bit. If you do want to make money, this isn't really a quick play or a high risk, high reward. This is going to be a lower risk, lower reward, or yeah, lower risk, lower reward, but it's just going to take more time. But this is one that you can add to your long term and hold it for 5-10 years if you really wanted to. They've recently hit profitability and are now operating as a bank, which gives them more control and better margins. SoFi has been grinding its way up, and while the hype isn't as loud as it was in 2021, the fundamentals are getting better and better. It's not a get rich quick stock, like I said before, but it could be a solid long-term play if you guys are into like the long-term aspect of trading. But SoFi is one that I do recommend just because of how healthy it is. I do recommend waiting for another pullback. We kind of had a decent one, like a slow, like a tiny one on Friday, but honestly, man, see how it moves today. If we do fall down just a little bit more, it could be a good opportunity to get in, just get your plays a little bit cheaper. And honestly, man, this is just one to have in your long-term account. And honestly, man, you'll probably see it green and green the whole time. Last but not least, we have a semiconductor, NVTS semiconductor, NVTS. But with that being said, man, they make the GaN and the SiC power chips that are used in EVs, mobile devices, and clean energy. Basically, chips that are more energy efficient and compliant than the traditional silicon stuff. This is a picks and shovels kind of play, and on the EV and green energy revolution. They've been growing revenue and expanding their partnerships, but like a lot of newer tech stocks, they're still unprofitable, but that just shows bigger risk for this play. But if you believe in the future of energy, efficient tech, NVTS is the name to keep on your watch list. And right now we're making a little bit of a breakout to the upside. We were kind of bearish, but now we're making a break to the upside, and we could potentially see it touch that $9 level again. And if we could break past that $9 level, we could probably see 10 to that 15. But this one is still good because it is still at a good buy zone. I wouldn't mind buying this one at $7. And even if we break down a little bit to that 660 to that 650 level, wouldn't be a bad buy zone. But this one, you can kind of have your patience on it. But honestly, man, if you wait too long, you might see it all the way at that $8 to $9 level already before you even get into your first play. With that being said, man, that is the breakdown of stocks that can make you a lot of money. We talked about ATAI in depth and hit up BBAI, RGTI, SOFI, and NVTS. Each one bringing something different to the table. You know, something you can diverse your accounts with. Let me know in the comments which one you guys are watching. Are you guys staying away from all of them? If you got value from this video, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe. Let's get to 500 subs and catch you guys in the next one. Good luck trading today and peace out.